For over 2 decades, the streets of Scotland have been a silent battleground in one of the UK's most brutal and enduring criminal feuds, the war between the Daniels and the Lyons. This isn't just a rivalry, it's a relentless, bloody saga born of betrayal and fueled by an insatiable thirst for revenge. To understand its depth, we must go back to the very beginning. Our story truly ignites in the early 2000s. The catalyst? A significant theft. Around the summer of 2001, a substantial stash of cocaine, valued at an estimated £20,000, vanished from a safe house in Glasgow's Milton area. This wasn't just any cocaine, it belonged to the Daniels crime family, and it was the Lyons who were believed to have stolen and sold it. This act of blatant disrespect was the spark that lit the fuse. The Daniels' response was swift, though initially unsuccessful. In September 2001, a botched attempt was made on Stephen Lyons outside a pub in Lambhill, Glasgow. It was clear the war had begun. The early exchanges saw symbolic acts of defiance, like the torching of the Churnside Centre, a community hub linked to the Lyons, and the trashing of its minibus. The violence escalated rapidly. In January 2003, Kevin Carroll, a key enforcer for the Daniels, was shot twice in the leg with a sawn-off shotgun right outside his mother's house in Milton. He survived, but it was a clear message. Just 11 days later, in a retaliatory strike, Johnny Lyons, brother of the notorious Eddie Lyons Sr., was shot outside his home. He famously survived, reportedly due to the bullet being stopped by his wallet. The stakes were getting higher. The mid-2000s marked a terrifying escalation in brutality. In April 2006, Kevin Carroll once again played a central role, shooting Eddie Lyons Jr., son of Stephen Lyons, at his home in Cumbernauld. Again, remarkably, Lyons Jr. survived. But Carroll's next move sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld and beyond. In November 2006, in an act of profound disrespect and pure malice, Carroll allegedly used a 4x4 and a tow rope to topple the headstone of Gary Lyons, Eddie Lyons Sr.'s son, who had died of leukemia years earlier. Catter Cemetery. This desecration of a grave was seen as an unprecedented low, confirming that no line would be left uncrossed. Just weeks later, in December 2006, Carroll attempted to murder Eddie Lyons Jr. for a second time, this time in Belshill, Lanarkshire. Lyons Jr. was injured as his car rolled over him, and an associate was also shot, but both survived. The very next day, the feud exploded into outright murder. On December 6, 2006, a blue Mazda pulled up outside Applero Motors in Lambhill, a garage known to be linked to the Lyons. Two masked gunmen emerged and opened fire. The result was devastating. 21-year-old Michael Lyons, nephew of Eddie Lyons Sr., was murdered. Stephen Lyons and associate Robert Pickett were also seriously injured. This brazen daylight execution in public marked a terrifying new chapter. Following the Applero Motors massacre, a chilling ransom note demanding £25,000 for the stolen drugs was sent to David Lyons, further cementing the initial theft as the root cause. Justice, in the eyes of the law, eventually followed for some. In March to May 2008, Daniel associates Raymond Anderson and James MacDonald were tried and convicted for the Applero Motors shooting. They received an initial Scottish record sentence of 35 years each, later reduced to 30 years on appeal. The message was clear. This was serious organized crime, and the penalties would be severe. As we moved into the late 2000s and early 2010s, the war continued even as key figures were incarcerated. The year 2010 brought another seismic event. On January 13, 2010, Kevin Gerbil Carroll, the very Daniel enforcer who had been at the heart of so many violent incidents, met his own brutal end. He was shot 13 times and killed in an Asda car park in Robroyston, Glasgow, while locked in the back seat of an Audi A3. The attack, lasting a mere 25 seconds, was a calculated execution. Ross Monaghan was acquitted of his murder in 2012, but William Buff Paterson was later convicted. This marked a significant blow to the Daniel faction. In other news related to the Lyons, in 2010, Paul Lyons, son of David Lyons, was jailed for the road rage killing of van driver Mark Fleeman, a separate incident but one that highlighted the criminal entanglements of the broader families. The mid-2010s showed no sign of the feud abating. In 2014, Ryan Chalmers, a gangster linked to the Daniel family, was shot in the legs in what was widely seen as a revenge attack. The power dynamics were shifting, but the violence persisted. In 2016, Eddie Lyons Jr. and Ross Monaghan found themselves involved in another street attack outside a bar in East Dunbartonshire, though the trial ultimately collapsed when alleged victims claimed no memory of the event, a testament to the fear and intimidation associated with these gangs. A significant moment occurred in 2016 with the death of Jamie Daniel, the very founder of the Daniel Gang, from cancer. His nephew, Stephen Bonzo Daniel, reportedly stepped up to lead the faction, ensuring the continuity of the feud. The violence even spread beyond Glasgow's immediate vicinity. In 2017, Ross Monaghan, who had been acquitted of Kevin Carroll's murder, survived a shooting when he was wounded in the shoulder while dropping off his daughter at a primary school in Glasgow. This close call prompted him to flee to Spain, seeking refuge from the relentless pursuit. Tragically, the reach of this feud extended even to the world of entertainment. In 2019, the murder of Trainspotting 2-star Bradley Welsh in Edinburgh was tragically linked to this very Gangland feud, with hitman Sean Orman later convicted of his murder. Yet how intertwined and far-reaching the tentacles of this conflict had become, and the story, devastatingly, continues into the present. As recent as March 2025, we've seen reports of a sickening spate of alleged gangland violence, including shootings, firebombings, and assaults erupting across Glasgow and Edinburgh, indicating a chilling resurgence of the feud, proving its deeply entrenched nature. Then, a dramatic development on the international stage. Just over a month ago, on May 31st, 2025, the feud reached a brutal crescendo on the sunny shores of the Costa del Sol. Eddie Lyons Jr. and Ross Monaghan, both prominent figures in the Lyons faction, were shot dead by a masked gunman outside Monaghan's bar in Fuengirola, Spain, after watching the UEFA Champions League final. Spanish police swiftly acted, later arresting Michael Riley in Liverpool, stating he is a Daniel clan member and responsible for these double murders. This shocking event underscores the global reach and unrelenting nature of this feud. Beyond the direct violence, the Daniels v. Lyons war has also revealed deeper international criminal connections, with the Lyons notably forging links with the notorious Kinahan organized crime group, a powerful Irish drug cartel. This highlights that these are not just local skirmishes, but parts of a complex and dangerous transnational criminal network. The Daniels v. Lyons gang war is more than just a series of incidents. It's a grim narrative of power, revenge, and a cycle of violence that seems almost impossible to break. It serves as a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of organized crime in Scotland, a conflict that continues to define a dark chapter in the nation's criminal history.